Wireless connection. Are we on?
I think we
Hi, I think we're on. Do you want to tag Colleen Scott in this video? I already have tagged you. Hi guys. Don't know if anyone's on. We can't really see much. We have to pull it up on the iPad to see your questions and who's on. But we wanted to talk today about self-healing, and I guess Colleen and I have been on a similar journey this year with our own health, and really, I guess the crux of it is about taking responsibility for your own health rather than necessarily just popping a pill. There is a time and a place, I think, for that. But in general, I think we can generally heal ourselves through some ancient wisdom, listening to ourselves, listening to our bodies, tuning in.
Definitely, yes. Listening is the key to that one. Yes,
it is the key.
Everybody is different, so...
Yeah, so we wanted to give you some tools, I guess, because our journey was quite similar in the sense that we both had very low iron. I guess that was what was presenting for the two of us. And there are some key things that you can do that we can almost prescribe, but it's not about being prescriptive. It's about listening to your own body, because there are different reasons why people might have low iron. So we're not all coming from the same place. So what works for one person is not necessarily going to work for another person. So I think that's really key to be mindful of. Yeah. Yeah,
no, definitely. And that's the thing, you know, you can present having the same symptoms, but the underlying cause is going to be so different for each person. We all have different experiences. We all have different body chemistry. So it's going to be a different path that you're going to choose for bringing yourself back into balance, which is what health is, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. So do you want to, I guess if we start from, okay, you were diagnosed. Colleen fell first. She led the way, paved the way.
Fell. Yeah.
She did. She was on the floor. So if you want to run us through that, and then the process of going, okay, how do I take responsibility? How do I listen to my body?
Yeah.
How do I now heal myself without necessarily doing what the doctors were telling you to do?
Yes. So I guess it started at the beginning of the year, and I could feel the tired. I could feel that I was going down in energy. Yes, it's summer. Yes, you know, we're all busy with our lives, but I knew something was right, but I wasn't quite 100% sure what it was. Ended up collapsing, going in and having blood tests, which came back saying that I had a very low blood levels, very low iron levels, but very low blood volume levels as well. And initially, the response from the GP was that a blood transfusion was my only option. It didn't sit right with me for a couple of reasons, and so it began a journey of, okay, why is my iron so low? I have a fairly good diet. Yes, I have a busy lifestyle, but I needed to look at more, okay, well, why is my body not absorbing things? It's kind of where I went in my head. And I also look at things holistically. So I look at, okay, physically what's going on, emotionally what's going on, mentally what's going on, and even, you know, energetically what is happening for me that's contributing to the whole situation.
And I think people just miss that bit.
Yeah.
That, you know, your emotions, your stress levels, all of that plays such a huge role in our physical health.
Yeah.
And you've got to heal properly and fully, you've really got to look at all of that, don't you?
Yeah. And that's what, I mean, I tell people all the time, the answer is never in one place. So it's not just do this and it's going to be all better. And it's not just going to be just physical, and it's not just going to be just emotional or just mental as well. So you have to look at the whole broad spectrum in that in order to be able to move forward with creating the change in your life to bring the body back into balance. So for me, it was a simple case of, I just thought, okay, I had an inkling that there was some heavy metals involved, and so I needed to clear those out of my system. I also needed to make sure my nutrition level was optimum, and I just had different food cravings the minute this happened, which is what kind of surprised me more than anything. Things that I had not really been drawn to for many, many years. All of a sudden my body was, and not just like this, you know, unconscious, like, craving for them out of control. It was this real,
like ice cream or chips or something really unhealthy.
It was just that real deep knowing and yearning that I needed, and it was like beets and green apple and salads and just
Can I stop you here though and ask, because I think this is the key that people struggle with. We all struggle with. How do we learn to listen to what our body's telling us? Because we all receive messages from our body, but I think the challenge that a lot of people have is actually tuning into that. And hearing it for what it is. Yeah.
So for me, when I'm talking about that with anybody, I'm always saying to them, you know, our head usually has an emotion or a reaction or like a heavier energy to it. So it's like, you know, I should do this, or that is good for me, or this is what I need. But it's got a very kind of emotional component and more of a pulling type, how it feels in the body. Whereas when I go into that, being able to listen to what my body's telling me, it's a very calm and it's a very deep and a very peaceful, just inner knowing. I usually feel it just right in like my gut as well. So just being able to stop and really drop into my body is what I would normally do. So I know I'm not in that trying to work out in my head what I actually need and what's right, and you know, which pathway should I follow and blah blah blah. It's more,
and the doctor says this and blah 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 blah.
And the nutrition person says that, and the new fad says this, and the naturopath says this.
Oh God, and Dr. Google says
that.
1,000 different things.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So just really getting into the body and just anchoring in there so that you can actually listen, and it's not, it's like the answer comes to you as well. It's not like a thought process where you're sitting there going, okay, what do I need? What do I need? Oh, is it that? Is it that? Is it that? It's a real, like, it's just a knowing process. And that only can happen when you can get quiet enough and still enough and really focused, and your intention and your attention on your body, that you're able to hear it. We've just lost practice, really.
It's quietening that mind, isn't it, and going into that stillness. And you know, meditation is certainly one of the tools that you could do. Just sitting still and just breathing, some really deep breathing exercises, and just sitting still and quiet can really get you in tune with your body, can't it?
So simple.
Absolutely. I actually had there was a few things that came up for me while you were talking, but one of them was recently I went back to my GP. So I'd had really, really low iron, ferritin, which is your iron storage. I worked similarly to Colleen, where I thought, okay, well, it's absorption. Colleen and I had many discussions over that period as to what we were doing and how we were healing. I went back to my GP and he could not believe my updated blood results, to the point where he rang the pathology and had to check, because I'd elevated them so quickly and so high within 4 months, when they all had told me it was going to take me a year to get my levels back up, doing it the traditional way. And you mentioned holistic, right? So as soon as I said to him, because he said to me, what did you do? I said, well, I took a holistic approach, and you could see him just glaze over as soon as I mentioned the word holistic, and he just kind of frowned at me and went, well, okay, whatever you're doing is working. And I wanted to explain to him more about what I'd done, but it was just, that's great, off you go kind of thing. It was really, really interesting, that whole approach. But then the other thing I felt after I'd gone through, like, I started one path that was part of the healing, and then sort of halfway through, I tuned in as well a bit more and felt that I had something parasitic. And it wasn't through any tests, it wasn't by going to a doctor. I just felt, oh, I think I've got this going on in my body. And went and got some, I don't know, like a liquid from Canara, which is if you're on the sunny coast, it's our local sort of organic shop, but they have naturopaths and stuff working there as well. And got this mixture from there, and sure enough, I'm positive that really helped as well. But again, it came from tuning in and knowing what was going on in my body. So like I said, we can give you lots of hints and tips, and I think we will share some basic things that you can do to help increase your iron, if that's, you know, what's concerning you. But really it's about taking responsibility, tuning in, and looking at things holistically. So if you've got a lot of stress in your life, you know, you need to do something about that. If you're not getting the physical activity,
Yeah.
you need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the common sense approach too, and I think that's really missing in a lot of unfortunate healthcare anymore. So
Yeah.
simple little things like, are you getting enough sleep? Do you manage stress? Are you getting exercise or movement in your life? Sunshine, another
Yes.
really big important
Yeah.
thing. Breathing and air and proper breathing. Too many people are doing the shallow breathing, so not just getting the oxygen into the body. And then food choices are a huge choice. And
massive.
impact on your health and your well-being.
Massive. I am horrified. So I just want to say hi to everyone because everyone's saying hi. Hi, ladies. I'm horrified sometimes at what people still think is a normal diet.
Yeah.
I travelled this year a lot for work, and going into, I don't know, cafes or hotels, and I kind of don't realise, because I cook a lot, you know, I'm always cooking and preparing my own food. And I forget what mainstream people are eating, and it saddens me. I actually said to, I don't know if it was you the other day, I said to someone, I feel like as a population, as human population, we are slowly killing ourselves off by the choices that we're making, by the manufacturing processes, by food production. You know, I just feel like, you know, obesity is rising,
Yeah.
allergies, diabetes, cancer, everything's on the increase. And I think a lot of it comes back to that self-healing, and we're kind of not taking responsibility as well. We're looking at the doctor to fix us, or that company that's manufacturing this product knows better. And I think, it worries me. It really does worry me.
Yeah, I kind of look at it from, you know, food choices is really important, and that includes your liquid consumption, so water,
Yes.
what other choices you're making. That's really going to be
Kylie, yes.
causing an issue in the body, but also our toxic load. I think people aren't really understanding, especially for women, that whatever you're using in your skincare, your makeup, your hair care, your body care products, all of those things are wreaking havoc in your immune system and impacting your endocrine system, and that is going to, you know, inhibit your body's ability to function optimally. So, and that's going to present in all sorts of different ways depending on your body chemistry and, again, what you have happening in your life. And that's why I think a lot of these things, to be honest, are on the rise. So even simple daily choices about eating organic, making your own skincare products, or using products that don't have the nasties in them. Even things like what you're cleaning your home in.
Yeah,
Start
absolutely.
using things like water and vinegar and bicarb soda and essential oils, something that's not spreading more toxins in the environment.
And you can there's some good products out there as well if you can't be bothered doing your own.
Yeah, I mean, there's
You know,
simple to
some
do,
great
but there's
natural-
some great natural ones. Yeah,
Absolutely. There are choices out there.
Yeah.
Gosh, you had me thinking, oh yeah. So one of the things that I had to give up, well, I didn't have to, but I did give up this year is, you know, I was always a big fan of really nice perfumes. I know, you're horrified. She's horrified. She can't believe I used Chanel, you know. It still sits there. I still have it sitting there in my bathroom, and I go to put it on, and I'm like, I just can't. So it's one thing I've had to give up. And I was a lipstick queen, unlike Colleen, but I am a lipstick queen. I love my lippy. But, you know, now I buy all natural lipstick, so it's really about getting rid of those toxins in the home and on your body. You know, my moisturizer for my skin is just coconut oil.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's so simple. Yeah.
Yeah, just removing all that crap. And once you become more and more aware, you actually start to realise how much of these toxins we're taking in. It's absolutely frightening.
Yeah. It's frightening, and for me, I think it's even more frightening because I think we're starting to see like an accumulation of it. So we're at a point now where we're actually passing that down when we're birthing children, and so children are already exposed to so much
That's in your breast milk. It's in the breast milk.
So
it's frightening.
that's the, you know, and for kids then to be exposed to that on a daily basis when they're actually, you know, from going into birth, it's already they're already faced with so many challenges in their health and their well-being. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw a comment from
I know,
Diane
that's why I
there.
got
Positive
distracted.
affirmations or mantras. Absolutely. Mindset's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, your mindset. If you've got these negative thoughts in your mind all the time as well.
Because toxins, they don't have to be these physical external things. They can be the things that are within you, like your mental chatter or belief systems that are not serving you anymore, or emotions that have not been properly processed and moved through the body.
We've got a lot of those, haven't we?
A whole. That's what I mean. It's not in one place. The answer is not in one place.
No. So sorry, it's not. We've got no quick fix for you, basically. We're telling you it takes a lot of work.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
And
exactly.
if you want real lasting, health, that's what it's going to take. And I'm just clear with people now.
Yeah, and I've studied a lot on the blue zones around the world, so the longest, healthiest living populations around the world. And they call them the blue zones because there's about 5 of these areas in the world. And if you look at, because they're so dispersed, one's in Okinawa, which is an island off Japan, part of Japan. Another one is, say, Sardinia, right? So if you want to compare what these people are eating, it's not the same food. Yet we want to kind of analyze stuff and put it in a lab and go, oh, well, they're eating this, so we've all got to eat this now. Well, no. It doesn't work like that. What they're eating in Okinawa is completely different to what they're eating in Sardinia. But there are some common themes. And the common themes are pretty much organic, local food. They generally eat meat, but it's in small quantities. They have a social network. They eat in a social setting. They get some daily activity and exercise. They have a reason to get up in the morning. So the Japanese call it your ikigai. But that is key. That's one of the key things. What's my reason? What's my purpose for living? So it's all these things that make up your health. And if you want to get to that healthy old age where you're not, with a tube in your... I used to work in medical nutrition. So I saw a lot of people with peg tubes and, they were being kept alive. And the quality of life is just shit, really, to be perfectly honest. So you need to start addressing stuff and you need to start processing your emotions, things from your past, as much as sometimes we don't want to face it and we think it's easy to just, sweep things under the carpet. You're going to have to move that carpet one day. So your shit's still going to be there.
And that's the thing. Simple things like gratitude and forgiveness are 2 easy practices that you can do daily that are going to make a huge difference in your health and your well-being too. And on the eating note too, one of the things that I also really noticed that it's coming up a little bit more now, but we've got so many of these amazing healing foods or superfoods out there. But what people need to realize is that even though if something is a good or healthy food, it might not be right for your body. And that's again why it's so important that you actually have to listen to your body for feedback about how it feels in the body. Is it being digested? Are you feeling sluggish after a meal? Are you feeling energized? Because those are all the keys that are going to tell you if something's right for you. Because even if it's good, it's not necessarily going to be the best thing for you.
Absolutely. I get so many comments from friends and family and, oh, I read the other day that this is really good for me. Well, is it? It might be a really good food, but again, it's not for everyone. There's bio-individuality and people need to start realizing that. And that's because we come from all different backgrounds, so each continent, each area has its own healing food. So there's no need for us to necessarily be, that's the other aspect too, though, where, chia seeds, quinoa, all that, and I eat those things too. I'm not saying don't, but they're getting shipped around the world constantly. So there are some environmental impacts for doing that too. So you just need to be conscious of all those things. And, it's a challenge. It's a minefield. But I think the more in tune you become and the more aware and the more able you are to listen to your body. It's like chia seeds. I can't really eat a lot of chia seeds. Yeah. Everyone says they're fabulous, and they probably are for a lot of people. I could eat them in small quantities because I've learnt to go, oh, that doesn't feel quite right, Yeah. And I think that's so important. So if anyone's got any specific questions or anything that you want to ask, please go ahead. we can see you now. I was worried that we weren't going to be able to see questions or anything like that, but we can. One of the things that came up for me yesterday, I was having a chat with a work colleague, and she also, it seems to be a very common thing, this low iron at the moment. So I do want to go back to that a little bit, even in children. And one of the reasons, speaking to a few paediatricians that I work with for low iron, is this massive intake of milk and dairy. So I'm not going to harp on about that because, you know, I'm not going to spend the live on that, but just be really, really mindful of that. But this woman who works in, well, she's a healthcare professional herself, has had blood transfusions to get her iron levels back up because she can't naturally get them back up. And then I was talking to her yesterday and she's scheduled for another one. And she had one earlier this year. And I said to her, I told her my story, and she was finally ready to listen to what I had done to get those iron levels back up. So whilst, you know, I don't want to be prescriptive, there are certainly things that can block some absorption. Things like gluten, dairy. It's actually the calcium in the dairy that blocks the iron absorption. So it's not that you don't have it, but you don't want to have it with an iron-rich meal. The gluten, definitely. Again, I still eat a bit of gluten, but when I was trying to get my iron levels back up, that's when I stopped it. So again, it's about knowing your own body. I know alcohol was one of them because it just suppresses the immune system, and if you've got low iron, your immune system is suppressed. So again, you want to make sure that you're not doing anything else to lower that immune system. And yeah, there's lots of stuff. So like I said, if you want any more information, you can certainly just pop in the notes. Even after the live's finished, we'll still monitor this video and we can certainly answer your questions. But Colleen doesn't know this. I'm about to just dump this on her. But Colleen and I have in the past run a few one-day retreats that I really enjoy, and I know, we love them. They're fun. They're fun. We love doing them. So I want to set one up for February, do you think?
Okay.
We're not going to announce a date or anything now, but I'm thinking sort of mid-late February.
Yep.
Okay, and we've done them in Brisbane and Melbourne before, so we'll probably look at those two places to start with.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Then if there's demand in, you know, Sydney or anywhere else, please just let us know and we'd be more than happy to come down there. But probably looking at late February, and these are the things that we'll be discussing as well, but actually running you through some tools as to how to get into that space, how to tune in, how to get rid of some of the toxins in your daily life.
Yeah. So a lot of it is, we talk a little bit about, again, the tools. So meditation, journaling, breathing, mindfulness,
forgiveness.
in eating, forgiveness. We do a little bit of movement, a bit of fun, yoga, just really helping women have tools that they can use in their day-to-day life. And that's what I like.
Men can come along too.
Oh. I love it.
She always leaves the men out.
Oh dear. Just, it's really simple tools to help you that they're not going to take, extra time out of your already busy schedules and days. And that's what I love about it. Everything that we do is so practical. It has to be easy. It has to be something that you can just do in your already existing life and be able to apply easily. Otherwise, people just won't do them. And that's the other side of it.
Yeah, exactly. So normally people, when they walk away from these days, they don't implement every tool we've given them, but if you can walk away with one or two things that you can implement into your life straight away, your street's ahead already kind of thing. So,
absolutely.
And then it's just a process. So you start with one or two things and you build. You can't do everything in one hit because it's overwhelmed. So that's generally what people walk away with. And, I've had clients come to me after those retreats who are waiting for the next one, so that's why I thought I'd announce something now. So we're looking at probably mid to late Feb. So I think that's, unless you've got anything else to add, I hope that's been useful and helpful for everyone. I can't really see who's on. Anyway, we'll find out later. It's up here. There we go. Yeah. Still learning. Anyway, awesome. Well, it's Friday, so have a fabulous weekend, everyone. just take some time out for you, some self-nurturing.
Yeah.
No, even if it's, as I say to people, even if it's 3 minutes on your balcony with a cup of tea, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a whole day. Thanks, Tanya. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. I think we'll do more of these.
Yeah, I think definitely.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah,
Yay.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Now I've got to work out how to turn you off. Finish. No, I just want to stay and hang out with you all. Bye.